Hello and welcome to Season 7 of Travel Stories with Mosh. In a year that has seen its fair share of highs and uncertainties, travel has taken on a deeper meaning. It is no longer about where we go, but how we connect with places, with people, but most of all with ourselves. At Travel Stories with Mosh, our effort has always been to inspire and remind us how incredible and truly beautiful this world is. So if you enjoy these conversations, please subscribe and follow us on this journey. Hello and welcome to another season of Travel Stories with Mosh. Today, I am joined by Glen Johnston, a true expert in the world of travel. With decades of experience shaping the way people explore the world, Glen joins us to take on a fascinating journey through different destinations, cultures, and the evolving world of travel. Glen, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Travel Stories with Mosh. And I cannot tell you how thrilled I am to go on this journey with you today.
Yes, thank you, Mosh. And I'm super excited to be here.
Me too. I mean, we've been wanting to do this for a while, and I'm so glad that we can do it today.
I know, finally.
And really, really excited to go on this journey with you around the world. But, you have lived across so many different places around the world. So when you look back, how has the journey been exploring, working in travel and inspiring people to explore the world in new and different ways?
Yes, I honestly feel a little bit blessed, to be honest, and in a sense even quite privileged to be able to have the life that I've had. Some of the times you don't know where different sort of highways and byways are going to take you, but really I've had just the most wonderful journey so far.
If you were to take us on a journey today, on this podcast, where will you be taking us?
Well, I'd like to take everyone back to Australia.
Okay.
And it's the Northern Territory in Australia, so it's not where a lot of people know much about. It's not very highly populated. Most people would recognize it as the outback. It's where you have also Uluru. It's the big rock that people might know in Australia, in the outback there.
Okay.
But here I was honestly blown away. And I think one of the reasons why is because Australia also has this amazing native cultures that go 40,000 years of mankind history, and it's actually the world's longest continuing culture in the world today. And being able to
and very little is known about that.
And very little is, even as Australia, this is a really sad thing on our behalf, but even from I think things are changing now, but from my generation, we weren't taught much about it. And it's something that I've always been really wanting to turn around and spend a lot of my time to learn a lot about more as well. But here you have the nature, and then here you have the culture. You can actually go out in the nature to see the rock art. It's 20,000 years old, which is really, and it's just there, out in the open in nature, and you're getting to see these things that, in a sense, our own heritage, all of humanity's heritage is there. As far as I can see, you can't see any man-made developments. You might just see a very thin road on the landscape. And even looking out at the natural landscape, for as far as the eye can see, you're probably guessing 40,000 years ago, you would have been looking at the same landscape. And I think in today's world,
that's incredible.
Right. Exactly.
Wow.
Right.
And nothing's changed.
And nothing's changed. And I think that is really incredibly powerful to have that connection, even to such an ancient past. So for me, that's why it was very, very special. On top of that, you've got the nature, doing nature walks in the mornings, going to the different creeks, etc., that you can just paddle down and enjoy the nature that way. They've got Katherine Gorge, where you can go out on boat cruises and just, again, stunning landscapes and nature to see. And then, of course, there's Kakadu National Park with its amazing biodiversity. And then also with being able to see the saltwater crocodiles quite close up, but obviously safe. And then all the wildlife that surrounds that as well. So that's why I thought I would introduce just today something a little bit special.
That is fantastic and very immersive, right? I mean,
it is.
Yeah.
It is.
So what is it that stayed with you? I mean, you did so much. There was history, and there was a lot of nature, and there was wildlife.
That's right.
So what is it that really stayed with you? Was it very soulful?
It really has to be that connection with the First Nations people and looking at that heritage that they have and culture that's there with those rock art. And to then combine that with the nature when you're looking at landscapes that wouldn't have changed. For me, it was actually not only a travel to a place, but also a travel in time. And I thought that was really quite special and something unique that Northern Territory is able to.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Wow, that was such a wonderful journey into Australia. I mean, like I said, very few people have taken us on a journey to Australia on the podcast. I'm so glad you took us, and not just to Australia, to this northernmost part of Australia, which again, very few people, I guess, have been to, from around the world. Yes. Because you have traveled around so much. And if you were to kind of pick one place you think everyone must go to once in their lifetime, which one would that be?
I think it would have to be California. And the reason for that is that I think it has, again, people travel for different reasons.
Different reasons, yeah.
But I think people can find much of the reasons that they might want to find in this amazing state, in this amazing destination. And I like starting in at the other gateway at San Francisco. And I think, for example, obviously it's a tech hub and everything. I'm very excited.
I think I already know what you're going to say, but
obviously the culinary scene. And the other thing, though, is getting around. And they have these driverless cars that are just like an Uber. Well, I had this amazing experience in this driverless car sitting in the back and playing the music I wanted to play. And then we're just driving around the streets of San Francisco without a driver. And it was quite an experience to sort of say, this is the future. But then driving from there, one of my most favorite destinations ever, even within the state, if I can say that, is Napa Valley. And here we're talking really serious. Okay, great. I knew we'd be on the same same page. Obviously, with its Michelin-starred restaurants and the amazing wineries and everything, it's just a really beautiful part of the world, to be honest. And so for foodies, it's a great must. But then you can get back into your car and then come along the coast, the West Coast, and that drive is absolutely spectacular. Yeah. Even if you're just going to San Francisco, but you want a snippet of what that coastal drive might feel like. Just from the airport, about 20 minutes away is Half Moon Bay. And already there, the Ritz-Carlton there on the golf course there, right on the cliffs of the Pacific. It's quite special. But if you continue going further down and go down towards Monterey, for example. Now, another thing that I really, really love is classic cars. And so there's a wonderful place there in Monterey that has all these classic cars that you can hire for yourself. And so you're able to go along the coast, really live that California road trip dream, for me anyway. Yeah. But the whole collection of cars that you can choose from is absolutely phenomenal. And it's really good value too, I would say. And then you can continue down the coast. There's another down towards Big Sur, and you also then have this amazing accommodation along the way. One of my favorites is Post Inn Ranch, and this is it's a beautiful private villa type accommodation, all made of wood with your open fireplaces. The balconies have your own hot tubs that are all beautifully designed and everything. And you're looking out to the Pacific Ocean. And so you get to stop along the way. But then sort of continuing down the coast and then getting to Santa Barbara, Montecito, which is a beautiful part of the world. Not all of us can afford to live there, but again, such beautiful, beautiful accommodation that you can stay there. And it's a wonderful, Santa Barbara for itself, it's a wonderful little town too, to sort of walk around and all the, I call them village shops, but it's the village vibe that it kind of has. And great cafes and everything there. Of course, they have their marina, so you can get out there and with the yachts and everything like that, which I like. And then, of course, we're hitting down, we're getting into LA. And so for a little bit of excitement, obviously, I would recommend West Hollywood, especially for the culinary scene again as well, and for the nightlife. But especially for families, I mean, you've got all the theme parks around there, Santa Monica Pier, and it's just it's a really great vibe. And of course, if you like fashion and all your shopping, and then what I would probably recommend, even if you're going into LA, but especially for families and for people that like a little bit of a quieter but sort of that relaxed luxury lifestyle, I would recommend Newport Beach. But then again, if you combine that with Fashion Island that they have there, and from there it's very easy. And then even from there you can go into the Palm Springs and go out into the desert area as well. And I haven't even touched about Yosemite National Park and all the redwoods. So when you put all of that together,
So would you say that, you picking California as that one place that everyone must go to once in their lifetime because it has so much variety?
So much variety. I think also because it really addresses a lot of people's different travel needs, depending on what you're going for. It does have those elements there. It's relatively easy to get around. I think people are very friendly there.
Yeah.
And it's relaxed. You can have luxury if you're seeking luxury, but it's more of a, well, compared to Dubai, I would say it's more relaxed luxury. And the other big thing about California is farm to table.
Yes. So California definitely has a lot of variety. Yes. There's so much to do. Like you said, you took us on this beautiful, drive, the coastal drive, which I love personally as well. But now let's come all the way, flying back 15 hours to Saudi. I want to talk to you about Saudi, because it's really opening up. Saudi is obviously a country that is opening up to everyone.
Yes.
Saudis are known to be very welcoming. There is a lot happening there today. I know you do a lot of work there as well.
Yes.
But what do you think is that one experience in Saudi that truly captures the soul of that country?
Yes, it's a great question. I have the very great honor and privilege to work with the Royal Commission for Alula. It is an extremely beautiful and special place. The nature there again, it's really quite breathtaking, and it doesn't matter how many times you see all these different rock formations, which is all throughout the area. It's really quite special. And of course, when you combine that with all the date farmings there as well, so you have the rock formations plus all the greenery from this oasis of what is the township of Alula. But then again, it's this amazing history, like Hegra with this famous Nabatean tomb areas as well. But it's not just that. They've got older civilizations that have left their mark there as well. There's also a beautiful area that we call the outside library. And this is where people throughout time have, in a sense, been doing their graffiti and writing different things in all their own different languages, from Aramaic, even going into Latin and all these other ancient languages. And they're sort of telling stories, I'm traveling, going off here. But it's been there for, over a millennia. And it's also something really quite exciting. And it's new. And it's what I love about it is it's new for many Saudis as well.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think Saudi really is that one place also from this part of the world that everyone should go to.
I totally agree. Like the weather there, for example, because it's elevated as well. So it's not as hot as it is here in Dubai, for example. Even during Ramadan and during the later summer months, you can get some really exceptional deals. And for people to be able to go there and experience it. From Dubai, it's connected directly.
Very accessible.
Yes, very accessible. And so I totally am with you. If someone's living in this region, they should definitely make
go.
that a visit.
Of course.
Absolutely.
And like, we just spoke, it's very accessible now. It wasn't, earlier.
Right.
It wasn't as open as it is today.
That's right.
It's easy to get to.
Yes.
Right. So definitely, people should go there. And you said beautifully about, the culture and the heritage and the soul of the country really is so much in its culture. But also, Saudi now is, of course, accessible and opened up, and therefore a lot of people are going there.
Yes.
But there are a lot of areas and parts of the world which are not as accessible.
That's right.
So in your experience, because you have traveled so much, which is that one very off the beaten track kind of a place, a very hard to kind of get to destination that you've been to, that's kind of totally changed your perspective on travel?
I recently just came back from a personal bucket list destination that I wanted to go to, and that's the Faroe Islands.
Oh, wow.
So they're located between
far,
Scotland and
far
Iceland.
away.
So I was able to access it through Copenhagen, through Denmark, and fly across. And absolutely phenomenal. The nature and the landscapes there are truly something out of this world. It's all about the nature again there. The townships and are really the most cutest things that you've ever seen. The weather, because of the location, can change very quickly. Also meeting up with local artists, and which was, I find, always interesting, and how that landscape has had an impact on them, and how on their art, but even as a culture, how it has and the isolation, how that sort
Yeah.
of really affects everything.
Yeah.
I found really interesting. So there's a wonderful restaurant there called Rast, and it's in the middle of the city, which is a tiny city, to be honest. It's so cute. And yeah, so even on the culinary scene, it was quite interesting. But it truly is a destination that I think that perhaps not on many people's
list
or
Yeah.
even in their thoughts.
Yeah.
And
I'm
but
very intrigued when you said, because it is hard to get to.
yes, it is.
You know,
It
it's
is.
like many flights, and
Yes.
like you said, it's not on many people's list.
No.
So what changed for you? Like how?
I think what really, especially, you know, I mean, I love living in Dubai, being here so long, and I love because it is so connected to so many places around the world. But I think there you do feel the isolation. And I think that's quite special.
And I love what you said about isolation, and I don't want to offend anyone, but I think it comes with age as
Yes,
well, because
yes.
the older you
Yes.
get, I feel isolation becomes very special.
Yes.
You enjoy your own company so much more, even if you have family,
Yes,
even if you
that's
have
right.
partners, you
Yes,
know,
yes.
you still need that time to yourself.
Yes.
And especially when you travel to different places,
Yes.
and you get to be alone in these
Yes.
various surroundings,
Yes.
it changes your perspective on travel. So
Yes.
places do that to you, you know.
Yeah, that's right. And I
Yeah.
think it's allowing yourself, and I think you can do it if you are traveling and traveling by yourself or going to these real isolated
Yeah,
areas,
yeah.
because you're not being distracted by many things around
Yes,
you.
yeah.
And I 100% agree with you, Marsha.
Faroe Islands, what a beautiful
Yes.
place you just mentioned. But what is that one place that you have visited in your life so far that has had a deep impact in you and changed you and shaped you to be the person you are today?
I think this is a place that strangely it impacted and was changing me even well before I went there. And that is Malta.
Oh,
So another extremely, I find, fascinating place in the middle of the Mediterranean. And its history is what I find absolutely incredible. Most of the Maltese language, it's Semitic. It's actually based on Arabic roots.
Oh,
so
I wouldn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so all the counting numbers are all in Arabic. Even though they're Roman Catholic, their word for God is Allah. Even the towns' names, you'll see, like Medina, for example, is the Medina, and there's a lot of other towns with the Arabic names and just the language. So even Arabic speakers, if they go there, they will kind of get a near and understanding of actually what's going on in the local language as well. But then they were ruled by the French, they were also ruled by the British, and they've had
so a lot of different influences.
a lot of different influences, exactly. And then they were ruled at the time by the Knights of Malta, which was a religious order during the Crusades. And so there's a lot of history that's built on layer of the history there. And where it had an impact on me even before going there is growing up in Melbourne, I was actually surrounded by the Maltese community there.
Yeah, so it was I think a lot of feelings for you. It wasn't just nostalgic, it was also
No.
very sentimental and
Yes.
soulful.
Yes.
For you
Again, yes,
in
absolutely.
many ways.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's a beautiful
Yeah.
journey as well. Now, you know, wellness today,
Yes.
you know, is another big conversation in
Yes.
the travel world.
Absolutely.
Wellness travel is becoming a huge part of the industry.
Yes.
And everybody's going on these various different wellness trips, you
Yes.
know. But in your experience, what is that one experience you've perhaps had which
Yes.
has been really transformational in your journey?
Yeah, great question. One place that really stood out for me was Trnava region in Slovakia.
Oh.
And they have Trnava itself is actually the town has been around since Roman times, and they were there because of its healing waters. And so there's a town there near the actual. Trnava is like the regional capital, but then there's a smaller town called Piastani, very within the region, extremely well regarded for its wellness programs. It has its natural mud. This is why the Romans went there. So the whole island's dedicated to wellness. And they have different resorts there, but it's all about their mud and having the mud baths and mud packs, and then having other sort of treatments that you might want as well. But being able to be in this really beautiful Art Deco hotel with its history, And then, and even with the mud, they purify. They get it just next door to the river that they're surrounded by. But then they have a whole cleansing technique of the month, which takes years.
Oh.
So and then after when they're using the mud for maybe 2 months, then they return it to the river, and then they've got the next sort of layers of mud that they've used that have gone through the cleaning process.
But it's not very well known.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think it's a bit of a hidden gem.
Oh, okay.
And it's great value.
Amazing.
For sure.
So Trnava in Slovakia.
Yes.
I mean, we didn't just talk about a wellness place, which had a very transformational experience for you, but it also kind of gave away a little hidden gem in the process. But there are also very many other places. There are many other places around the world which are very underrated.
Yes.
Right? And people don't know about them.
Yes.
So which places do you think are very underrated around the world and deserves more attention in the travel world?
I've had another great opportunity to travel to Kyrgyzstan.
A lot of buzz around Kyrgyzstan
right,
nowadays.
there is. I mean, again, accessibility has become a lot easier than what it was before, and it's great value. I am a bit of a fan of architecture, so then even going into the capital Bishkek, and it's got its old Soviet mosaics and brutalist architecture and everything. Again, I was surprised by its culinary scene. I was not expecting anything, to be honest, when I went there. Yeah, and
That's very good to know.
Yeah, and I was pleasantly surprised. So I was really quite impressed with that. But the key thing for me is really going up into the mountains. During the summer months, staying in a yurt. We talk and you probably get a sense. I do like to stay at my nice resorts and hotels and boutique hotels.
And then you stay in a yurt.
And then I stay in a yurt. No electricity, no running water, no door. It's just a flap. So there's no showers. No. There might have been a shower, but I just decided not to take a shower.
But you go to Kyrgyzstan, you have to stay in a yurt, right?
So, absolutely.
So how was that experience?
I loved it because then during the day we're going out and we're doing trails. You can do horse trails or you can do jeep trails, and you're going out and again, similar to what I was saying about Northern Territory in Australia. There's no man-made fixtures anywhere. Yurts are yurts, but they're there to be disassembled. So when we talk about even, looking at sustainability and everything, I think what a wonderful way to do it, because you're experiencing the big nature, but still people are not even creating any concrete main reception place or anything.
Right.
It's all purely natural, which I really appreciate. And you see them there with their horses and herding their horses, and it's something really, really special. And I got
a bit of a nomadic kind of.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
It's beautiful. Kyrgyzstan is that one place you think is very underrated.
Yes, absolutely.
I think the whole of all the Silk Route countries, and that Mongolia.
Yes.
So a lot of these countries definitely deserve more attention in the travel world, and they are slowly getting it, which is so nice to know, right?
Yes, exactly.
You also said that food.
Yes, which
was
surprised
good
me, to be honest.
In Kyrgyzstan, now we've already established that you travel for food.
Yes.
You're a huge foodie. So I think it would just be right to ask you, which country in the world or place in the world you think is the number one foodie destination?
It has to be Japan.
Okay.
Now, you've been to Japan.
Yes.
How do you feel about Japanese food?
That's my favorite cuisine in the world. So yes.
I have to.
And there is so much to experience in Japanese cuisine. When you are here, or the normal people will say, it's just sushi and sashimi, but it is not. No. That's the last thing that you see actually when you're roaming around the streets of Tokyo or even Kyoto.
That's right. And I think why I have to, there's many reasons why, but the reason why I would say Japan is, even just with Michelin stars, Tokyo has more Michelin star restaurants than anywhere else in the world, even more than Paris. But it's not just about fine dining either. I think anywhere you go in Japan, even if you just go to a local eatery, the quality of the food is fantastic. Yes. And then when you compare that with the value, I know a lot of people maybe haven't like a sense that Japan is incredibly expensive. That was the case back in the 80s when I was there, but that's no longer the case. It's super, super great value at the moment. Even the yen has come down a lot, and they've had stagflation for like 20 years. Obviously, it's all seasonal. It's all fresh. Here's a tip that you can go. So, for example, because it can cost you nothing.
Yeah.
If you go down from Tokyo, if you a couple of hours drive, there's the Izu Peninsula. And along there, they have a lot of these seafood shacks where they're all over the open fires and with all the shellfish. So it would be scallops, it would be all different types of prawns and all different types of shellfish there as well. And they're cooking them. And you're able to try it all for free.
Oh.
And then, so I wouldn't recommend, you should buy something there as well.
Yeah, of course.
But,
support the local
you can
economy.
actually kind of like
do that, experience that.
Like seafood shack hopping, just tasting
that's
a bite
an experience as well. Yeah,
and it doesn't even cost anything.
Yeah,
so
I did that in Nishiki Market in Kyoto.
Oh, fantastic! Yes,
you go in and just eat whatever.
Right?
That's so nice. Yeah, but that's true. I mean, Japan truly is at the top of the list, and when it comes to food, and they do it so well. Even when you get off the train station, just the little ramen joint there, that'll have incredible food.
Absolutely.
So
so that's my reason. I would have to say Japan.
And well said, and rightfully so. Okay, now that we've, come almost to the end of the podcast, but you also have given us very many gems on the podcast, but I still want to know, what is your hidden gem?
I'm going to take you back to Europe and Slovenia. Quite a small country, but very, very special for me again as well. Again, beautiful countryside. The city Ljubljana, it's a fantastic university town.
And great
really.
Food, actually.
Great food, yes. But what I love there, you can go up into the mountains, and then from the mountains, you've got the city. It's not too big, but you've got beautiful cafes and restaurants. Amazing wine. A lot of people don't know about Slovenian wine, so you can definitely recommend that there as well. And going into the wine regions, they have all the karst regions, all the caves and everything. So there's Postojna cave where you go on a little train, so it takes you all in. But it's a beautiful adventure going into that there as well. You've been to you have been to Marsh. Oh, you have. Fantastic. A little country that perhaps not many people have sort of visited yet.
Yes. And so close to Italy.
Yes.
You can just drive, to one of the cities.
You can combine it with Venice very easily.
Yeah.
So I think for me, it's also a hidden gem with a lot to give.
I like that. I like that. I have special memories in Slovenia, and I think it's a beautiful country. Very small. You can cover it in a few days, and also very peaceful, very nice. People are nice. The food is great. Yeah. So nice. I love that hidden gem.
Gosh, I think we should travel together. I think we've
should.
got a lot of
a lot in common. We'll make that happen. We'll make that happen.
Wonderful.
But before you go now, what is on your bucket list? I want to know that list.
Yes. Well, I'm going to Bhutan.
Oh,
and
you
I've
will love it.
Never been. You've been to Bhutan? You have. You have to tell me then.
It's beautiful.
What's the food like? Because I don't know.
Food, I don't know. So the food, I wouldn't really say go there for food, but go there for the soulful experience that you will have,
Wonderful.
People are great, and it's just everything around Bhutan, the ethos, the culture. There are no buildings there, so to speak, but everything around, it's so peaceful, and they're all so happy. No wonder they have this whole happiness thing going on, so beautiful. You will love it.
Fantastic. Oh, I can't wait. Thank you.
But if you're going to Bhutan, you have to do the tiger's nest.
Yes, that's definitely
you have to do the tiger's nest.
That's really quite amazing.
It is amazing. It is amazing. It's literally a pilgrimage.
Wow, fantastic.
And take your guide and go. And it is the most beautiful experience once you reach there. And when you climb up to hike up to the tiger's nest, you realize that it is truly a pilgrimage.
Oh, fantastic.
It's a beautiful experience. I'm so glad you're going there.
Yes.
And I wish you all the best. And
Thank
I hope you enjoy all your travels that are coming up next.
Thanks,
and you keep traveling for food and for all the soulful journeys and for wellness.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on to this episode. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you much. Thank you very much.
Thank you everyone for tuning in today. I hope our conversations have fueled your wanderlust and inspired you to travel the world in new and exciting ways. stories. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and let us know what you thought of today's episode. Until the next time, safe travels and keep adventuring.